Now, where are you on police department engaging in deadly force? Obviously, when there is an officer-involved shooting that involves a death, it's obviously very sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
I know members of this community are still talking about the death, I believe, 4 or 5 years ago of Isaiah Marietta Golding, where apparently video shows that he may have been shot in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you tell people now under your command of when to engage in deadly force?
Well, number one, a lot of the use of force incidents are really kind of dictated by what the person does and how the officer reacts. So, I'm not going to specify any incident because I haven't reviewed it in detail, but I can tell you that there's certain circumstances that police officers face where they have no other choice. Okay, we had an incident in Oklahoma City where a police officer pulls a motorist over for a valid traffic violation. As soon as he approaches the car, the driver turns around and looks at him with a gun in his face. Okay? There's no de-escalation there, David. There's no de-escalation. There's nothing the officer can do but try to save his own life by reaching down, grabbing his firearm, and trying to be the first one to shoot. So there's, unfortunately and sadly, there's always going to be those situations like that where the officer is put in a situation where he or she has no other choice. Okay, and they have the right to defend themselves. They have the right to go home to their families at night. I think what's other areas that we can really work on is just the training of how we can de-escalate situations which have that option. The example I gave you does not, where maybe time, distance, cover can give us more options. If we have time, if we have distance from the offender, if we have cover where the officer is safe, then we can try other techniques like de-escalation, talking to the person, trying to kind of diffuse a situation so you're not put in a situation where you have to use deadly force. So obviously it should be comprehensive, and I think as police leadership we need to find the best training, the best de-escalation methods, and make sure that our officers have access to that because we want to protect them, we want to protect the community, and we also want to build trust.
I don't know if the public will ever know what it's like, police officers choose when they're engaged in that
Mm-hmm.
situation. But we see the times where somebody is running away,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not clear that they have a weapon, and it turns
Mm-hmm.
out they don't. What do you recommend your officers to do? What should the training be when you're not 100% certain the other person has a gun, even if they're running away?
Well, the training should give them options. And if the only option that they have is if somebody is pointing a weapon at them or somebody is running towards them with a knife. We had 2 officer-involved shootings here recently in Fresno, just within the last couple of months, where that's exactly what happened. The officers were trying to stay away. They were trying to calm the person down, and that individual came at them with a knife. And quite frankly, if that suspect makes contact, they can kill that police officer. So in that situation, they're trying to de-escalate, but really they have no other option. They have to protect themselves from possible death and protect the public, so they have to use deadly force. But there's 100 different other scenarios that we don't have time to dissect right now, where there's other options, where maybe it's a communication issue, where maybe there's other less lethal options that you can use and you don't have to use your weapon. And again, what my job is going to be to look at our policies to see what improvements need to be made, rely on my executive staff to help me do that, and to make sure that we have the best training available and the best equipment.